Alrighty, I'm going to wire and install a new outside outlet in here. I have the box and the wire mold up, and not wire mold but conduit, but it's not hooked up. We just didn't put the wires in it, so we're going to put up a nice brand new light fixture, and we're going to use some wire that's made here in the country I was born in. Here in the country I was born in, black is live, white is neutral, the bare, the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a 110, 120 volt switch loop, or in a 220, 240 volt appliance where the appliance does not require a neutral. So we'll start installing this, and I'll show you how to do it. We'll take our light bulbs out of this. We're not going to throw this light away. It is a decent light fixture. There it is. See if we can get it off. We can't. We just not be able to do it. We can't. You don't let I can't bother you. You can't do something, you just can't. It's all so simple. Caulked on there really good. Oops, that broke. That broke. It's chintzy light, so now we have to take it off. No, we'll just have to break it off the hard way. These screws where I won't lose them. So I guess we'll just have to destroy it and break it up. Make sure I don't damage the wires in the box. Here we go. There we go. We got it off the easy way there. Up out of our way here. Okay, we'll take out our dummy out that we had in here from before. Oh, we have a GFI down here, so we'll reinstall this. We'll pull our fake wire out. We had a fake wire in here for temporary. Open up our elbow down here. Gasket. There we go. We're going to break our gasket there. Move our screws here. So we're not allowed to put Romex inside the conduit, so we're going to just measure out how much we need, and we will pull the GHHN wires out of the Romex, and we'll put the GHHN in loose. We'll go here, 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 up, here. Seam right through that. Keep going over about right here. Here. So we'll get our THHN wire out of our Romex. we have THHN wire, which is allowed to be in the conduit in a moist condition, so we don't have to Okay, so now we'll snake our wires through our PVC conduit here. We want to make sure we keep them all together so we have our same length at both ends. Okay, they come down over here. Yeah, I'm just pulling up the ground wire out of my piece of Romex here, and I'm trying to get it out. If I can't find my pliers, I'm not going to get upset. I'll just use my bigger ones. They were in my hand 2 minutes ago. Now that is, you can't find it, get you down and bother. You just grab the first thing you can grab and do the best you can as long as you don't violate any safety. There we go. Hopefully they're up there, but if they're not, they're not. I'm not going to get upset. Oh, unfortunately they're up here. So now we just got to get our Phillips screwdriver. So we're going to unscrew our ground wire from our box. So we're going to get a nice long piece here to go to our box and to our fixture. So we're going to get them all twisted together here, nice and evenly. Cut them so they're even with the shortest one here. Put our wire nut on. Make sure it's nice tight. We'll get it back out of our way here. We'll get our ground wire around our green screw in the back of the box. Now we make sure that wire is around the screw, under the screw head all the way around, which it is. Now we'll get our wires ready to hook our light fixture up. So we have our ground. We'll get our whites together here. Strip them with our 14 gauge hole. Get our insulation even at the bottom here. We'll twist them so they're even. And we'll cut them so they're even on the bottom here. Like that. And we'll do the same with our white wires. Get our insulation even at the bottom. We'll clip them so they're even. This is our bracket. This is the screw to screw the light in. Okay, so it takes a 1032 rather than the 832, so we're going to have to put the screws in that we had up here before. You don't get frustrated if a screw hole is stripped. It's stripped, and there's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. You don't get frustrated. You don't carry on. You don't get frustrated. It does not help you. It's not going to change anything. If the hole is stripped, it's stripped. And there's nothing you can do. But fortunately, it's going to go in. Okay, that bottomed out, so we have to shorten this screw up a little bit, because if I just force it, it's going to break and I'm out of luck. I don't have any more screws. So you know what, we're going to cut it a little bit. Yeah, I cut it with my bolt cutters. Okay, it's on there nice and tight. So we just have to shorten this one up a bit. Okay, good. It's going to tighten up nice and tight. Oh, it's not going to go in, so we have to take it out and shorten it up a little bit more. We'll try it on this one on the next try. We'll just use our alternate hole. And it's going to tighten up. Nice. Okay, so there's no green screw here. So we'll just fold our ground wire up into our box, get it out of our way in case someday it ever does get changed with a fixture that does have a ground screw. So we're going to put it back here, get it all out of the way in here. So this is our seal. So you take this paper off the seal. And we'll put it on here like this. Get it centered in our hole there. Put it against our box. Okay, so on our light fixture we have our black, which is live, and our white, which is the neutral. We're going to strip some more insulation off so we get a nicer wrap around the solid wires there. Okay, so we'll get our insulation even at the top, bring our strands around, we'll get our copper even on the end like this here. Get our wire nut on, make sure insulation goes up into the bottom of the wire nut. Make sure it's on there nice and tight. Make sure our insulation is in there. And we'll fold our wires so it's going in. And I'll keep our wire cap facing up. In case a little moisture gets in, it will drip over top of the wire nut, but I doubt it. Okay, again, we'll get our insulation even at the bottom like this, wrap our strands around our solid wire, making sure our solid wires are even on the end there, and they are, so we'll get our copper even at the end here like that, get our wire nut, make sure our insulation goes in the bottom of that wire nut there, just push it in, make sure it's nice and tight, make sure our insulation is in the wire nut all the way, and now we can fold our wire nut so it's facing up. We can get on the other side of the screw here. We're not facing up. And we'll make sure it's away from the screw. And our wire nut is facing up. And our screw here is not going to hit any wires. So now we're ready to put our fixture on the box. Make sure our wires are going down out of our way here, and bring this one down here. Now it's going to be tricky to find that hole, but you don't get frustrated, you don't get all upset, you don't get all flabbergasted. It's not going to help you find it. Getting frustrated does not help you. You just struggle until you find it, that's all. And if you can't, you just give up, let somebody else do it. It's got to be there so you don't get all bent out of shape. I'm going to just get my flashlight. If I can find it, but if I can't, I can't, and I won't frustrate. The joy of not being able to see, I love it. There it is, I think that's it. Yep, that's it right there. I'm just going to make sure my wires aren't getting pinched. If I can't see, I can't see. It's that simple. Yep, it looks like they're both down behind that bracket. So I'll just tighten this screw. There should be a little cap that goes on the end of this, and if I can't find it, I can't find it. I'm going to look in the box, so if it's not there, it's not there, and you don't get all bent out of shape about it. Just maybe put a little silicone in it. So we got it on there nice and snug, so adjust our light to where we want it. Okay, it's all sealed all around here. We'll put some caulk around this later. Okay, so we'll put our cover back on our LB here. I'll make sure our wires are all up above there so they're not getting pinched. Okay, we'll get another 1/2-inch strap over here. Okay, so on the back of your GFI receptacle, it will say line where your power goes in and load where your power goes out. So we're going to make sure our load screws are closed tight so they don't flop around and hit something you don't want it to hit. So we'll get our wires together here. First we'll put our ground wire under that pressure plate and make sure it goes up in there all the way. See how I get it in under the pressure plate, and we'll tighten it up so it's tight all the way. Here in the country I was born in, your black wire is live, so we'll strip it. We're going to make sure it's long enough to get under the pressure plate all the way when it's in, so it's in all the way. Black goes on the brass screw, which is the narrow slot here. So we have it in on our brass terminal. See how that hops like a bunny? I hate those screws. So we're gonna tighten it. We'll get our white wire. We'll strip it. Hold it up, make sure it's long enough. Okay, I can take a little more off. I'll make sure it's long enough. It is. So we'll get it under here. Now this, what's nice about this, you can go in and out on the line. So if you have outlets downstream that are not needed to be GFI protected, you can jump off of this other hole here, and to protect more outlets downstream, you can put 2 wires in those holes. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, so now we'll push our wires into our box here. So we'll keep our ground wire up here so it stays away from where it could touch something that we don't want it to touch. And we'll put our screws in. I'm going to fix this ground wire so it stays back here further. We want it to go back, stay back further here. Okay, so now we have it back where we want it. Okay, so on our cover, we want to make sure this tab is facing down. So we can go over that screw, go over this one, and we can just tighten them up. Make sure it's nice and tight. Tighten this one up. So if we get a nice warm day, I'll put some silicone around that light fixture I just put up. Make sure it's all nice and tight. You can pause the video to read the instructions.